Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the lounge. My name is Sean, and today it is my pleasure to be speaking with Christine Rochon, the producer of the independent thriller Fugue that was shot here in Sudbury. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge the Robinson-Huron Treaty of 1850 and recognize that Sion sits upon the traditional lands of the Atikoshing and Anishinaabe. Christine, how are you?
I'm doing really good. Just finished a long day of prep on the new feature that I'm working on, and it feels really good to be back in the swing of things, as we're entering filmmaking post-COVID, or if there's such a post-COVID, but it's been really good.
Yeah, how is that kind of coming back to set and trying to figure out, what the new protocols are, is it a big adjustment, or are you finding it's moving pretty smoothly?
A little bit of both. It's a big adjustment. Wearing masks every day is a bit cumbersome, but it's really great because you have all these different people who are taking it seriously and they're doing their best. So everyone's talking to each other, and the more that we communicate, the better we're able to plan. So we're still in the preparation stages right now. We have guidelines in place for COVID. There's 30 pages of how everyone should be acting in their departments and stuff like that. So this sort of document sets the tone for the departments, and then we continually meet of how that looks. But it is very different logistically, and lots of things to consider, lots of personal protective equipment to order for people. So we're doing our best, and it's my first show where I'm navigating it, and I'm finding it not as scary and intimidating as I thought it might be.
I was speaking with people going back to work. There's a mixture of excitement and trepidation because they're not sure, what this is going to look like. But I think excitement is taking that over. So it's good. It's good to see you're back at it. Tell us a little bit about how you started in the film industry, if you can.
Yeah, absolutely. I started in the film industry back in 2012 in October, so I'm coming up on my 8th year anniversary, I suppose. And it was really impromptu. I was working in the mayor's office before and met someone from the film industry locally and said, hey, I feel like my skills will translate. When I finished that contract, I was able to get onto a film as a producer's assistant. And then I went on to do production assisting in the production office for about a year. And then I upgraded to assistant production coordinator. And I did that for probably about 4 years, kind of really honing my skills, learning about production and all of those insider things. And then moved up to the coordinator level not too long ago and really did well at that. And now I am actually taking my first job in the assistant production manager role. So another upgrade for myself in my profession, which feels really good. And it's been a beautiful experience. I've had really wonderful mentors along the way, and I feel very fortunate for that. So that's sort of been my quick snippet of a journey in the film industry here locally in Northern Ontario.
So that kind of experience within the production office and moving your way up through the coordinator positions, has that been good training for you to become a producer of your own films?
Absolutely. Everything I've learned in the office and how the production office collaborates with the other departments has really allowed me to feel confident stepping into the producer role on an indie feature film. And without that, I wouldn't have been able to make that move. So it was invaluable, and I don't regret it. And I thank everyone so much for teaching me everything that they know and sharing their wisdom with me, because I would not have been able to make Fugue in the role of a producer without all of that.
Yeah, it's a daunting role to take on, especially, when you're not, you haven't cut your teeth as a producer on anything else. And, especially, I've likened it to a bit of a goat rodeo. You're wrangling cats, you're trying to put out fires, you're trying to solve problems, things like that. What about producing and being in the production office attracts you to that?
Oh man, I feel like it's almost it's not for everyone. It's a lot of work, a lot of detail oriented, and a lot of taking all these different plans and ideas. And where I thrive creatively is I am very good at looking at different details on a macro and micro level, and learning that in the production office allowed me to step into the producing role. So that was kind of what really helped it along.
Mm. You talked about some of your mentors. Is there anybody in particular who really kind of showed you the ropes?
Yeah, I mean, locally, Alina Dockery showed me the ropes when I was first starting out. A coordinator from Toronto by the name of Eleanor Mendez has been a wonderful human being and taught me a lot when I started out. Right now, I'm working with a woman, Lori Fishberg, a line producer from Toronto, and she's taken me through the steps of assistant production management, and she's really eager to mentor me into the role, so that's been beautiful. So yeah, and you know, even people who aren't coordinators, different assistant directors have taught me things, production designers. When you're meeting 60 different people every few months, you can't help but take something away. And I gotta thank Avi, because without him and his guidance and those constant phone calls, I would have not been able to do what I did. So it was, you know, he's a big help too.
Well, okay, so we're dancing around it a little bit. We've talked about your progression and your career path moving up in coordination, but Fugue was run through Avi Fettergreen. It was a contest that offered micro budgets for micro budget production. Your pitch was selected, and you guys got to make it. Can you tell us a little bit about the story of Fugue?
Yeah, Fugue is the story of Malcolm, who wakes up and is in an amnesic state and is trying to figure out who he is, what's going on in his world, and he's confused, and his wife is there trying to help him along with his memory to come back, and his best friend comes into the scene and is also trying to help Malcolm figure out who he is, and everything kind of unravels from there. Don't want to give away any spoilers.
No, you don't want to, because it's a ride. And you got a chance to screen that at Cinefest in Sudbury, where you guys shot, where most of the crew is from. How was that experience, being able to show it in your hometown with an audience of people who are stoked for you?
Wow, I think about that and you just gave me chills, Sean. It was really such a beautiful sort of full circle moment of winning the Indie Can for Northern Ontario, making the movie, and a year later going to Cinefest at this international festival in our hometown with friends, family, strangers. I think we filled up 2 theaters that night. And it was just really heartwarming and very gratifying for all the work that, you know, myself, Thomas Street, our cast, and our crew, who I still feel so much love towards them for everything they did for us, because without all of them, that movie would have not been made, regardless of, you know, me being a producer or Thomas being a writer and a director. You know, the crew and the cast were the backbone of that film. And so all of that coming together at Cinefest was very beautiful, and it was a gift, really.
Yeah, and speaking with your director Thomas and speaking with some of the crew, it really felt like you had a very special experience on that as your first role in an indie producer. Sorry, go ahead.
I still have the cast, and like, we shot that film, or we filmed it in 2017. And still to this day, the cast will tell me that was one of the best productions they've worked on, regardless of it being indie. It was just such a great environment. And to hear that come back to me, even after all these years, is really nice.
What would you say makes Northern Ontario crews special?
The people, and I believe everyone here is really eager to learn and wants to dedicate their time to their craft. So you get this, like, a cool collaboration and teamwork, I find, up here. And because Northern Ontario, when it comes to the film industries, our crew, a lot of people have worked with each other and have a rapport with each other. And I feel that helps when new producers come to town and they hire their Northern crew. We're already a well-oiled machine that's in motion. So it helps the whole cog of it go forward.
For anybody who may be listening to this, you know, especially young people from Northern Ontario, even if, you know, little girls, little boys, anybody in between on any spectrum of it, I'm curious, what would you tell someone who's got a story and they want to tell it? What kind of advice would you give them?
I would tell them, that they should write their story down in any way, any shape or form. Don't get stuck on it. If it doesn't work the first time, keep working at it. If you want to produce a film, it's a lot of hard work, but it's worth it. And really don't forget to eat and sleep. It's very important.
That is why craft services is the best friend on any film production.
Yeah, absolutely. You need good food and good rest.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I know you're very busy in prep, and I don't want to keep you because, again, sleep and food are very important. But I want to ask, is there any plans, is there anything where people will be able to see Fugue?
Actually, yes. Luckily, COVID allowed for Fugue to move through distribution. And with that being said, it looks like October 20th, Fugue should be released on iTunes and maybe a few platforms after that. But that's where things are going right now. And I hope that the momentum continues and that happens for our cast, our crew, and because I really want people to see this film. It's a great film. I'm very proud of it. I think the people who worked on it are proud of it. And, you know, it was a community effort. People donated to our Indie Can project. So I really hope that we get to share it on a larger platform with everyone.
Amazing. And October 20th, we're putting in the calendars. We'll share it around. Awesome. Thanks, Christine. I hope you have an awesome night. I hope production goes well. And we'll hope to see your next movie come to Cinefest and into town very soon.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sean. All the best to you guys and the family at Scion.
Right on. Wicked. Take care of yourself.
Cheers.